Hey, Adam. All right, so we got a question of where and what should I fish tomorrow?
Where and what, as far as...
You got any? We'll answer that question as we get some more folks jumping on here. So, what do you think? Where are you, Adam?
Yeah, I need to know where.
In our area, I guess I'll say that. How about in our area, Northeast Alabama? Where'd you go fishing tomorrow?
I'd probably come here, honestly. I mean, we may not catch any today, but I just like it here. I think they're biting here if we can figure out a way. I know the weather's not going to help, but I mean, anywhere up here in Northeast Alabama right now, the fish are going to be on the beds or in some phase of the spawn, and we've got a full moon. I think it was either last night or night before last, so a new wave of fish is going to be pulling up regardless. So however you like to catch them shallow, ought to be able to work on any lake you go to.
All right. Well, we got up to 25, so we're going to pick a winner. You guys drop some comments, some questions for Wes. We're just going to be out here fishing. We'll kick off some swim jig lessons here in just a second. All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about Neely Henry a little bit later, Adam. But y'all share this, comment with the questions below, and we're going to pick a winner for a $25 gift certificate to the tackle store, to the Loft. So, Wes, I will turn it over to you. Why don't you teach us a little bit? From what I hear, you know a thing or two about swim jigs.
It's a lot of trial and error to get to where I've gotten with the swim jig or swimming cricket, whatever you want to call it. I normally, most of the time, I get asked mainly on what trailer and what weight jig I swim. And normally I try and keep it really simple. I'll throw a 5/16 ounce. I swim with dirty jigs, no jack swim jig 90% of the time. As far as my color selection, I try and keep it real basic. I'll throw a white one, a black and blue one, and then a brown one. I mean, I don't get real crazy with the colors. As far as the trailers go, you kind of let the fish tell you what they want. On any given day, it can be different. But normally starting out, I'm going to swim a Zoom super speed crawl, not the Ultra Vibe. The Ultra Vibe have the small pinchers. The speed crawl have the bigger ones. I just like, being around here, being on the coast and stuff with this shallow grass. I like the big flapping, moving a lot of water. You got the dirtier water. You want to have a bait, a trailer that's going to move a lot of water. Like I said, there's certain instances, like we're probably getting real close to it, where all this shallow stuff starts getting beat up pretty bad, and it's going to bite at your swim jig with a flapping style trailer, but they're not really wanting to commit to it because they've just seen so many of them, and they kind of go over and mouth it or miss a bunch of them, have them pull your trailer down. I've seen it instances where I'll use a swim bait trailer, just a little paddle tail like a Zoom Z swimmer, stuff like that, a 3.8. And when I go to do that around here, I'll put it on fluorocarbon line, 22 pound Sunline shooter fluorocarbon. And you'll notice when one does commit to it, he's going to eat it most of the time. I think it's a different look. I think it's something not a lot of people are doing around here yet, and it's just kind of a finesse way to power fish, and it's kind of been a way you've been able to get a few bites with it getting pressured later on into the spring and stuff when everybody knows the fish are shallow. I'm trying to get one to bite it right now. Another question I get asked a lot is the rod I use, and I'm a little bit different than a lot of people. I use a 7.6 medium heavy, and the only reason I use a 7.6 is, as you can see, the way I fish it around here, I'm keeping my rod tip up. I like to be able to see my jig. I want to see what it's doing, make sure my trailer is working right. And if I go to a shorter rod like a 7.3 or a 7.1, I'm having to work my bait a lot faster. I'm having to reel faster, work my arms faster, and by midday, you're wore out. Your forearms are burning, your wrists are killing you. Where my art rod that I have this 7.6 medium heavy and reinforcer, and it's so light I can just angle it up, and the length of the rod keeps my jig up. The jig just kind of flutters on that 5/16 ounce with that super speed crawl. You don't have to work it real fast. There's sometimes where you need to work it fast, but a lot of times I just kind of like to bounce it off stuff and try and get a reaction bite. The reel I use is a Lew's Pro TI. It's a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. It's not really that fast. You can use a fast one if you want. I'm just accustomed to using a 7-5. The two reels I mainly use all the time for any application is a 7.5 or a 6.4. I don't really stray away from those too much. You know, those will kind of cover everything you need to do.
So I got one quick question. Are you constantly shaking the rod with the swim jig?
Right now I am, and most of the time, yes. I mean, I'm trying to give that jig as much action as possible. The way I kind of think about it when I was growing up doing it is you want that jig to move as much as it can without you bringing the jig to you. So making it dance, making it run into some grass, run into a stick, just something. Whether that's shaking it, whether that's bumping your reel. I mean, there's a couple different ways guys do it. Some guys really bounce their rod a lot. They kind of make it more of a floating type of action. I know John Cox is a really good swim jig fisherman, and he'll kind of just bounce his and let it like pumping more or less, where I kind of shake mine. So everybody has their own little kind of spin that they do on it, and they all work on any given day. Some days some are better. I will say this: the conditions right now are not very good for swim jig. That's a fact. But normally on days like today, if you happen to get one or two bites on a swim jig, it's going to be a big one most of the time. Shaky.
That was going to be one of my questions, is what are the conditions you're looking for to use that swim jig?
Most of the time I like overcast. You know, I mean, obviously bluebird, post-frontal is not the best. I like overcast early in the morning. Just a low light condition. I don't want them getting a good look at it, basically. That's my main thing. I feel like the better they can see it, the less likely they are that if they do come up on it that they're not going to eat it, that they're just shy away from it. I've seen it happen too many times where it's real clear days and the water may not be very dirty, and you might get them to flash on it, but that's about it.
All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we're out here with Bassmaster Elite Pro Wes Logan. And I know he's been social distancing, building some cabinets is what he was telling me earlier. Keeping busy. I know he's been doing a little bit of fishing.
We've been giving him turkeys a hard time, too.
All right. So you guys drop your questions for Wes. We're on here for a little while. I don't think he's got anywhere to go. So we'll answer questions. I see some where's the fish? I don't know. Today, what are we thinking?
I don't know. I just had a dang good one roll on it, though. Let's see. We're going to throw a little curveball at him. I'll catch that one later. Probably on the bed the way that's what I was saying about the conditions, where I mean it come up like I saw the fish's mouth open, but I mean it just never even came close to the jig.
All right. Hey, Robbie asked, what did you just change to?
That's kind of like my finesse shallow fishing, I guess, during the spawn, where some people, I mean, you can go with a wacky worm or a zoom trick worm. Just the type of cover around here on the Coosa River, I tend to go with a trick worm more or less than a wacky worm. You don't get hung up near as much. There's one.
All right.
Dirty jig, swim jig, no jack, every time. That's how you want them to eat it. That one ate it good. Zoom's 2 for speed craw. Not a big one, but it's a bite. A lot of times that's just what you need to get going. Like when let's say we're practicing for an elite tournament. I mean, truthfully, guys, I haven't been bass fishing on Neely Henry since probably, I don't know, I would say a month and a half, 2 months. So I don't really know what stage the fish are in, but just getting a bait like a swim jig that you can cover water with, and then you get a bite here, you get a bite there, you kind of put something together. And I mean, that's kind of how our practices go, or that's how I approach practice. You just kind of, by the end of 2 or 3 days, you kind of start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and that's what happens.
All right, we got, if the fish aren't committing to the swim jig, what's your first change?
This time of year, like what just happened, I will throw that trick worm, because sometimes those fish, if they're on the bed, you can't see them, like you don't know that the fish is on the bed, but he comes up here and he gets on and really want to eat it. Sometimes you can throw that floating worm in there on top of him, and he'll just, not that he really wants to eat it that much, but he just can't stand that worm just floating down in front of him. So that's been the thing I've had the best success with. There's other lakes where you have to do a wacky worm, like Smith Lake. I'll swim a jig there, and you'll have a lot of fish following it, or just come up and just look at it. You can't really do it like as soon as they do it, but you can come back in 30 minutes and throw right where he was, and a lot of times catch it every time. So that's a really good follow thing during the spawn.
All right, guys, if y'all are just joining us, be sure to go share this live and drop some comments below. We're getting some good questions, but we're going to pick somebody from the comments at the end to win a $25 gift certificate to the Loft. Buy some tackle online, maybe some swim jigs. We got the dirty jig stuff up there. Looks like an unknown anonymous person asking, is your mentor Gentry Gordy?
Old Gentry, 100%. He taught me everything I know.
All right. Well, whoever that is that's asking that question, I don't know, your name's kind of blurred out. I can't really read it.
Old Gentry. Gentry is an absolute stick on Jordan and Eufaula and Mitchell, the wacky worm specialist.
And guys, if you haven't been following us or keeping up with what's going on at Bucks Island, Gentry is one of our pro staffers down further south in Alabama, running one of our shop skeeters, and got a beautiful wrap on it. Got a good group of guys, I think, having a lot of fun.
Yeah, him and his partner, Chad Smith, do really well in the ABT. They're always way up in the Angler of the Year point the past few years.
Of course, everybody's been put on hold with the tournaments this year, so I know everybody's ready to get back to it.
No doubt about that.
Which I will put in a plug. Speaking of that, we were just talking yesterday. We've had a few guys that did not sign up for our Bucks Cash program. And when they were running tournaments, they missed out on some winnings. So right now wouldn't be a bad time to make sure that you get in and get all that paperwork taken care of, so that as soon as those tournaments kick back on, you can get everything out that you have a chance to. So if you're not familiar with our Bucks Cash program, just head over a website. It's super easy to find. We've got all the information on our program. You buy a skeeter from Bucks Island, new or used. We've got some opportunities there for. We've got the list of tournaments that are all approved and all that kind of stuff.
Also check out that the new Yamaha power bait that they're doing. Little reimbursement deal for whatever tournaments you're fishing if they qualify for the Yamaha thing. Just go to Yamaha's website, on the Power Pay tab, and it has all the details and stuff there. So if you're running a new skeeter or a skeeter that's got a couple-year-old Yamaha, be sure and check it out. You don't want to miss out on no money, like Mike said.
All right, so what are we doing now?
We are just going back down through where I swam a jig through with my floating worm, yellow trick worm from Zoom. Just making sure I didn't miss it. I went back and tried to get that fish to bite. Missed my swim jig, and he either wasn't there no more, or I don't know. Thought he might have bit again.
All right, guys, you drop your questions. Getting out of that wind, it's not so bad back here.
It's not right here. You go around that corner. Caught so many right here.
See if we can. All right, Ethan asks, is he fishing up or down river?
I am upriver from Coosa Landing, where I'm at. We decided to put in at Coosa Landing this morning, so I decided just to come up. I haven't been up here all year. Figured I'd come look around. These fish get so much pressure in this lake, or around all lakes now, and not that there's anything wrong with it, because people need to be outside and fishing and all that, but with all the circumstances, there's twice as many people fishing every day of the week than there normally is. So it's changed the way the fish are going to act for a little while. More of them getting caught than they're caught. There's nothing wrong with that. Get out there and catch as many of them.
All right, so similar question with location. This time of the year, what end of the river do you find to be more productive?
This year's kind of off a little bit as far as, because I think in March, like we just got through a March, and it was unseasonably warm the second, third week of March, all the way up until now. So I think now where in years past you caught fish in April that were just pulling up the spawn, actually pulled up the spawn the second, third week of March. So what I try and do, and this goes for anywhere across the country, it's not really just here, but the first fish in a lake or reservoir anywhere are going to spawn on the low end. I don't know why, it's the river fish always spawn last. And most of the time, the further you go up in any kind of lake or anything, it's gonna turn into a river somewhere. So I've always found that the fish further down the lake spawn first, and the later it gets, the further you move up the river. So let's say if we'd have been doing this the first week of March, second week of March, I would have probably wanted to have been on the low end of the lake. And then just start moving your way up. But it's been so warm and the water temperature's so hot, I think these fish up the river are spawning just as good, if not better, than the fish on the low end of the lake. Because most of the fish on the low end of the lake are probably going to have spawned. But like I said earlier, there's a full moon, and there's always fish pulling up. I mean, not every fish in the lake is going to spawn at the same time, obviously. There's a lot of people that think that, and it's not true. I've seen fish on bed in July. But once the first wave comes up, I mean, it's kind of a free-for-all on the whole lake where you think something might be. And you could have one 5-mile section of a river or lake that just turns on. And normally in a tournament situation, the guy that finds that's the guy that wins. And then you'll have other sections of the lake that just seem dead, completely dead. Surprisingly, nobody said nothing about me throwing a trick worm on the bait cast. Normally get asked all kind of questions on that. Most people throw it on the spinning rod.
So why do you like to throw it that way on the baitcaster?
I like to throw it on a baitcaster on like this type of lake. Like on the Tennessee River lakes, I'll throw it just if I'm around some pretty harsh cover. I mean, you know, you'll get wadded up in some of that grass, or if you're fishing it around laydowns and stuff. I actually throw it on 40-pound sunline braid, also with a real flimsy rod. I mean, I've got almost a crankbait rod action on, so I don't flex the hook out. But I just like to be able to have, not worry that I'm gonna break the line on a hook set or pulling kind of hard if they get wrapped up in the grass or something. Where if you're on like a Smith Lake, something like that, you're not really around a whole lot. You can kind of get the fish away from anything that's going to be harsh on your line, stuff like that. And I'm not having to do a lot of skipping fishing this way with shallow grass. So that's really where I think the spinning rod comes in, is when you get to having to skip under things, because you can't skip it with a bait caster. Tell y'all how smart I am. I throw a swim jig for 5 minutes and catch a 2.5 pounder, and then I lay it down. Genius. I mean, you can't make that kind of stuff up. That's just pure Elite Series knowledge there. It ain't how to buy it in.
I got a feeling you're not the only one. You guys drop a comment if you do the same thing.
Catch one on something, lay it down. Oh, they got to be biting his other one better.
Are you guys that are coming in, joining us, drop a comment. Just comment where you're watching from. Let us know. I'm kind of interested to see who all's chiming in, where you're watching from. And we're gonna pick somebody at the end of this to win a $25 gift card for the tackle store online. All right, what's the water temp?
67 to 68. Out on the back here in this creek, out on the main lake, it was 62 to 63. We had a cold night last night. Well, I say cold, I mean it was in the lower 40s when I got in the truck this morning. So, I mean, it kind of puts a dent in it. It'll knock it down a few degrees, but the water's done got to a point where it's so warm it's not going to drop that much. Where like, if earlier in the year, January, February, where we have 3 or 4 warm days and the water bumps up to 60, well, you get a 30-degree night, it's going to drop it back down to the low 50s, high 40s. I mean, it just, the water table is not that warm, so the water's done warmed up a lot further down now that we've had those 80, 85-degree days all day. And the 60, 65-degree nights really help a lot. Get that spawn going, stuff like that.
Some Dan O'Sullivan guy asked if you were standing up.
I'll get up off my knees. We need to block that dude or something.
Yeah. We did get a question on the go-to color for a swim jig in these conditions.
I'm gonna have to go with a white or a black and blue one for sure. I got both of them tied on. I just picked that white one up. See if they bite it. See, I stand up and I get hung up. Gotta get back on my knees. That dang one limb. I don't want to lose my spinnerbait. That's my lucky spinnerbait. That dang limb's so tough. Tougher than woodpecker lips.
Come on, you guys got to give them a thumbs up or something.
Them guys, everybody watching ain't never got hung up before.
No, I'm sure.
I'm tore up like a snake in a weed eater right now trying to get all this situation. Act like I know what I'm doing.
All right, Ralph Lucas, that's a good question. Hey, Wes, when are you going to come cut my grass?
Oh, I guess when I get done with this. No rest for the weary. No rest for the weary. If the lawnmower's there, I'll cut the grass. How about that?
What are your top baits and colors for this time of year on Neely? We'll circle back with, I think we've already talked on some of that stuff.
We talked on the swim jig, the white and black and blue on the swim jig. That's an all year round thing for me. Spinner baits, I like it. Depends on the water clarity, obviously. Like the water's kind of clear right now. I'm throwing a shad, cotton candy style color that I like. Obviously the water gets dirtier, you get more stain, you'll want a chartreuse and white. Hardly ever do I throw a solid chartreuse. My trick worm, I'll throw a black one, a yellow one, and a methylate one, which is that real bright color, well known in the spawn. Flipping, I'm all 95% of the time green pumpkin. It's just a hard color to beat anywhere in the country, not just here. But I mean, you have your colors that you like, but again, you have to go by the conditions you're dealt with. I mean, you get some real hard rains, your water's going to get real dirty. If it has rain in a month, your water's going to be gin clear. You just got to determine what color you're going to throw by the water most of the time.
What are you throwing right now?
Spinnerbait.
There you go, guys.
It's actually Jason Christie's new Booyah Covert spinnerbait, but I'll put a skirt on it.
Does Wes stick to certain water depth this time of year due to the spawn? Like less than 10 feet of water, anything like that?
Wes is going to look for 10 feet of water 12 months out of the year to catch one in. But yeah, I mean, during the spawn, obviously you want to try and target. You want to fish shallow water, but you also need to have some deep water close by, just so you can have. I mean, I say that there's fish you can catch in 6 inches of water during the spawn, obviously, and you'll catch them that deep. But I like to fish somewhere where there could be new fish pulling up. That's kind of a main thing that I like to do. I feel like you'll be around a few more fish doing that, where like, you know, you might have a new wave come up where they haven't made it all the way back there. And I mean, most of the time during the spawn, a boat comes into a buck or something, he's going to go all the way straight to the back, and they might miss a fish or two going in or coming out, you know. But yeah, mainly, I mean, you want to be in the dirt most of the time.
Hopefully that wind noise isn't too bad on the microphone.
That is not good.
Oh, we got another question on what area of the lake do you like best this time of year? Well, we can circle back around to some of that discussion.
I like upriver. I mean, the later in the spring I get, the further I want to go up most of the time. And that has a lot to do with the lower end of the lake just gets a lot of pressure. The fish start getting beat up pretty bad. But, you can obviously still catch a bunch down there, but I just like being up here. I grew up fishing up the lake, almost all of this river, so that's where I just feel more comfortable at.
Missing the shorts weather from yesterday.
Crazy, but not even 24 hours.
Gotta love Alabama.
Just wait a couple hours, it'll be 75 degrees.
Well, there's a new one. We haven't talked much about crankbaits. Let's talk about any go-to crankbait color this time of year. What are you thinking about with crankbaits?
The color, I mean, because normally I'm going to be throwing a square bill this time of year, something shallow, and the water temperature's got a lot to do with the color. The colder the water, I like more of a red, and the warmer the water gets, you can turn into a brown, your oranges, and then even to a shad pattern. Obviously, once you get around the shad spawn and stuff, which is probably not too far away from looking at the water temperature. Mainly a shad spawn is going to start kicking off where in the mornings you have water temperatures in the 70s instead of the low 60s. When you can get that water temperature in the 70s, the mid 70s, or even high 60s in some places, those shad will start getting a little active in the morning.
Is the grass a player this time of year?
Yeah, always. Grass is a player all the time. Like on the whole Coosa River. I mean, it's always going to have some kind of factor. There's times where it's a lot better than other times. It kind of just really depends on if the grass is present where you're fishing. If there's not a whole lot of it, obviously it's not going to be that relevant. But if it's not there, they'll try and get on like trying to quit talking on the phone. They'll get on any type of hard cover they can, wood, rock, stuff like that. And it's kind of a day-by-day thing. They're not always in the grass, they're not always on the boat.
We got a longer question. I'll read it as maybe we get out of the wind a hair. I don't know if I can, if I step up here, am I going in your way? All right, get the mic a little closer to you. It seems you're throwing moving baits so far, swim jigs, swimming a worm, spinner bait. How long would you throw those before changing to a slower bait? Jig, worm, frog, etc.
It would be a while. I mean, because this time of year, and for us being on here for a couple hours, I'm just trying to cover a bunch of water and try and find an active fish. If I really get in an area, if I've caught them there in the past, or if I was in a tournament situation where I got a few bites before, or if it's a whole different area that looks right, but I haven't had a bite on any type of moving deal, I'll go back through it and flip, you know, pitch a little zoom blankie around, pitch a little soft plastic on a lightweight, and just to see if I can get an extra bite or two. And then, I mean, if you don't get a bite on that, then there's probably not one there. But if you do happen to pick up a bite or two, then you know you can go, you make it go back through your other areas and slow down and pick off a few more fish. In a minute. He said I'm gonna get back down now.
He's hunting for a new jig trailer.
I got more stuff. The Carter's got peanuts.
Guys, don't forget, drop a comment down below. We're going to pick somebody at the end. Let's see, how long have we been going now? Yeah, 20, 25, well, close to an hour.
I'll give y'all a little tip, whoever's watching. You can see that one's cut off. I take 2 segments off when I'm swimming, and I pull the little leg. I don't want nothing obstructing. I just want it just like that. So you just pull those off. Don't throw them in your lake. Throw them in the trash can. Scooter's got a cool little trash can right there. Just drop it in there. Throw it out when you get done at the end of the day. Get up here and let's talk to you.
I shouldn't have sat down. All right, are you using the spinnerbait, or just giving a different action? You using a trailer of any kind?
On the spinnerbaits?
On the spinnerbaits?
No, hardly ever do I throw a spinnerbait trailer. There's some instances I do, like in real muddy water or real cold when I want a big profile. But like in this shallow stuff on reaction, I feel like I don't want, if they come up to bite something, I want them biting where the hook is. I don't want them like nipping at a trailer or something. When they zero in on it, I want them to hit where the hook is. Because half of the fish, the bites that you get up shallow right now, they're not wanting to eat. I mean, a lot of it's reaction, a lot of it's guard and stuff like that. It's not a pure hungry eat. But when I do use a trailer, I use the Zoom split tail spinnerbait trailer. All the time. That's the only one I'll throw.
Jeremy, that's a great question. What method of hook removal do you recommend when you jack up your cameraman? That's my fault for being in his way, all right?
You have to do that braid hook removal, I guess. I don't know, that's a pretty big hook to get out. That might be a bad deal there. That's like a tuna guess. I've had to pull a few out, but nothing like that.
It's all right. I'm good at ducking.
It moved pretty quick now, I'll give you that. I don't think it was very big. I didn't know we had it barely.
Well, we appreciate you guys dropping the questions in. About 50, 60 folks just chilling out with us today.
I wonder what everybody else is doing. Like, what do you do if you can't go fishing for work?
Well,
Or turkey hunting? Going on a hike?
so what adjustments will you make with post-frontal conditions?
I mean, probably the best thing to do, to be honest, would be to slow down and just pitch a few pitches. I mean, a little soft plastic or something. But I really just don't, I don't want to. If I want to catch one, I want to catch one doing this, moving around. That's just how I like to fish. But if I was going to change, I mean, really in a real serious situation, I would probably slow down. To be honest, on this body of water or the Coos River, I would probably be spot fishing, honestly. Because the weather doesn't seem to affect them quite as bad, and they still seem to bite a little bit. They're just a more aggressive breed. But I'm just trying to give some tips on real shallow water stuff, swim jigging, stuff like that, and see if we can catch a real big one. Probably not the best odds, but you never know.
So to answer your question, we got a few folks saying they're just working from home.
Sweet.
I know.
Still getting paid and sitting at the house.
And then a few folks just saying they're sitting at home watching you fish.
Or so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's got to be like watching paint dry.
I think this might be the best one, is he can go fishing, but watches bucks live to hold him over, and then go out and polish up the new skeeter he just bought from us. So
Nothing wrong with that. Sounds like a man with his priorities in line. Ain't perfect and wonderful and the way they want it, they ain't gonna buy it. They ain't gonna be happy. There's that old saying. saying a happy life is a happy wife. Whoever said that probably hits the nail on the head. Although I'm not married, but I might as well be.
Just remember, we can't edit that stuff out.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. This is 100% live raw. Y'all get to see how much I suck. Dang.
So we got a question about main channels versus fishing pockets. Thoughts? I know one of the things that has driven us to where we are now is trying to get out of the wind so we got good audio.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of the wind a lot right this second. I mean, normally I would probably have bounced around, probably lose out. But as far as main channel deal, your main river, main channel stuff for largemouth most of the time is going to be real late winter, early spring, and then on into the summer, like after it's spawn. Spotted bass wise, I mean, you want to be on the river all the time, obviously. We've actually got pretty good current today. They got one turbine going, which is actually perfect for trying to fish spawning spots. We could probably go catch a few. I just don't think we can catch very many big ones, just because I don't. Most of the time, the big ones get on certain stretches, and I don't know exactly where those are at. I know where some have been in the past, but not current. I don't know largemouth already, so that didn't make any sense at all. Made absolutely nothing.
All right, guys, if you're just chiming in, joining us out here on Neely, drop us a comment, give us a thumbs up, give us something. We're gonna pick somebody at the end of this to win a $25 gift certificate to our tackle store, The Loft, online. Uh-oh.
Like a trivia deal. See if somebody can figure out an answer. Whoever gets it right first, I'll send them a hat and a couple of bait. Gotta think it's a good one.
All right, Ethan asks, is the cold front changing the bass bite any?
100%. Knocked him in the head a little bit. Because there should be, I mean, you're not seeing a bunch of activity up on the bank where I know there was a couple of days ago. I mean, I haven't been here, but there's no doubt. I mean, there's got to be buck bass up there garden fry and stuff, and you're just not seeing none of that. You're not seeing any life on the bank. No minnows, no brim, no shad, no nothing. Right over there where I caught that one and had that bite, when we were talking, there was a bass chasing the shad, and that's the only place we've gotten a bite. So, it's kind of ironic.
So I think that kind of covers the I just lost the question. Where the fish go when the temperature goes from 75 to 55 in 12 hours. How does that really impact the water temperature?
It brings it down on the surface, and it affects your surface temperature. But once you get 3 or 4 feet down, it's not going to bother them or bother the water. But the problem with that is the fish are already setting up in that 6 inches to 1.5 feet. So it's really, it affects them a little bit, but mainly the pressure change. I mean, the barometric pressures has a lot more to do with fishing than people think. I mean, they're not in the mood to eat. That's basically what I think it comes down to. It's just not good fishing. I don't know. I mean, I can guarantee. I'm not saying there's a bunch of them up there, but there's bass in there. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they were there. They're wanting to be there. It's just the difference today, man. And it may be a technique thing where you have to slow down and pitch around. sometimes on a frontal day where it is colder, the later in the day bite will get better, obviously. I mean, your 3 o'clock to dark will be the time you're going to catch them the best.
All right, I'm being told to tell Wes, don't hold back. Don't hold back on us since he's live.
I'm not holding back nothing, I'm wrong. I've caught him here many years. Not very good, which I knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge. 15-mile-an-hour north wind.
What's your PB and where'd you catch it?
I was going to do that for that trivia question about this. I caught a 915 in a BFL regional at the St. John's back in 2014, I think. The year it was. It wasn't a 10-pounder, it was 915, but it was a dang big one. I think I may have caught a 10-pounder in a pond. Or 10 or 11, but we didn't have any scales. I mean, I don't really want to count it being from a pond and stuff. That's the biggest fish I've ever caught in a tournament, and the biggest one I've ever caught on the lake or river. I thought I beat it in practice for the elite on St. John's the last day. I caught a 899, but I'd have swore when I was fighting it was a 10 pounder. Quite long.
We got Cody watching from Minnesota. Probably getting tired of us complaining about 55 degrees and a little wind down here.
If he's still watching, how cold? I want to know.
Did you hear that, Cody? How cold is it? What's the temps like up in Minnesota right now? All right. Do you want to have your swim jig up where you can see it or out of sight?
I always like it where I can see it. And that's just, I just like seeing what my jig is doing, what the trailer's doing. And if I do have to get a bite and the fish don't, when you don't catch them, obviously you get to see how he reacts to it, stuff like that. But there's different circumstances for every situation.
Driving live. Oh, Dano said he ain't a real fisherman if he doesn't claim that 915 as a 10-pounder.
What's a 10-pounder? On a 10-pounder. Not on the scale. I think I have one close to 8 that they said I had 25 on it, I think.
Yeah, Cody, I'd say I can't complain. It is beautiful down here. It was beautifuler yesterday. Beautifuler. Hey Tim, we're out here on Neely Henry. I'm probably gonna butcher this name, Alondra Owens, saying proud of your accomplishments, Wes.
I appreciate it. I greatly appreciate that.
So this has to be one of the crazier rookie years for the Elite Series.
Yeah, I was doing an interview with Fast Times earlier this morning. He was like, how does it feel to, you like get a little bit of a taste of it at the first tournament, and then they like take it away. Like, all right, you can't go no more for the rest. Go for one. Kind of well, I've had 2 hunts. One feed. Yeah, I'll be just jumping in the boat.
See if I can. Wish I could put a polarized lens on this phone.
Oh, where you can see it?
Yeah. Yeah, the temps, what's our air temp today? About 55?
Yeah, I think the high was only like 56.
High 56. It was in the 70s yesterday.
Easily.
Tim, where are you at? He said it's 36 there.
It ain't that cold.
I guess I'll stop complaining.
I'm probably wrong.
Fishing any frogs this time of year?
I don't. I kind of let it get a little bit of water before I start throwing a frog. But you can
catch one. What's your go-to frog rod? Frog rod. Frog rod.
Mag, medium heavy. Mag, medium heavy. It's really the best all around. You can throw a frog, open water frog, swim a jig with it, like under docks and stuff, skipping like that. You can flip a real lightweight type deal. But it's the best. It's what I throw in my popping frogs and my open water stuff, horny toads, buzz bait. Really good rod for all that.
What are you throwing now?
Trickworm. Black. I'm throwing yellow on the tank. Black. Sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it don't matter. All right, I got a question they can answer and try and whoever wants to win something.
Oh, you're gonna do a giveaway, huh?
I'm going to.
Trivia.
Whoever, how many people we got on there?
We got, we just dropped down to 45.
All right, well, I guess we can say it 2 or 3 times. Last year, I won the Angler of the Year on the Central Open. But whoever can guess the biggest one-day weight that I had, that's pounds and ounces, I'll send a little gift package too. I don't know what all I'm gonna put in it yet, but that's like, it would be, for instance, this isn't it, but 13 pounds, 8 ounces would be an example. So whoever can guess that, my one single day, the biggest bag I had last year in the Opens, when I won Angler of the Year to make the Elite, you'll win.
All right. Single day weight.
Heaviest weight.
Are we, without going over? Are we doing closest to?
We can do, I mean, I want them to hit it on the head.
Oh, all right, all right.
Hit it on the head.
We got one comment. You're not catching anything.
I'm doing all I can.
We're trying.
I'm not gonna try and catch some spots here. We'll just have a little bit of action.
Oh, and it's snowing in Maryland.
Snowing. It might be snowing here for long.
Now, let's be fair. It's not quite that cold.
It is Alabama.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about canceling school. I mean, that'd be if we had a threat of snow. What's your favorite lake to fish in Alabama? When and why?
I like Smith. Middle of March, so about right now. I'm catching a lot of fish. I mean, it's not uncommon to catch 50 or 60 in a day. You don't always catch a bunch of big ones, but you catch a bunch of big.
We got a guess of 19 pounds, 13 ounces.
So not quite that much. I wish. Probably would have made it. I guess if he's the only one that guesses, we'll just send it to
Y'all keep the questions coming.
Y'all should have picked somebody that knows how to fish today. Glad I don't do this for a living.
Not this year, at least, right?
Good.
Well, while we're all quarantined, we've been talking about doing a little bit more of this. So we appreciate you guys joining us. If you like it, if you want us to do more of this kind of stuff, then we definitely let us know. Give us the thumbs up. Drop us a comment. We're trying to be a little more creative this time of this craziness going on. We got a guess of 18 pounds, 6 ounces.
They're getting closer.
14 pounds, 10 ounces.
More than that.
Uh-oh. Are they allowed to guess more than once?
Oh, yeah. Many times as you want.
Blue Heron doesn't seem too concerned about you.
No, no. It's cold. That's what them bass look like right now. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, Tim, I'd say he likes to fish today. Just can't catch anything. Well, isn't that one of the rules of professional fishing is that you go live, it makes it harder to get them to bite?
Count on that.
19 pounds, 13 ounces. 16 pounds, 10 ounces.
Oh, real close. Real close.
$17 even.
That's it.
Robbie Cook.
That be it. 17 even, the second day at Grand Lake.
Nicely done, Robbie. Oh, Robbie just beat you out, Jason.
Oh, that quick. Dang.
Nicely done, Robbie.
DM or something.
We'll get you. We'll get Robbie hooked up.
It's crazy. Guess I should have came practice.
Well, it's a good reason to tune in early and see the first catch.
I thought it was fixing to get pretty good. Had 2 bites back to back. We're gonna fish this one little stretch of grass, and we're gonna do a little change of scenery.
Guess you're getting serious, getting quiet, huh?
It looked pretty good. I think there might be one there. Make one bite.
Next time we'll start off with one in the live well just as a backup, right?
That's right. You gotta do what you gotta do.
What did we say the water temp was earlier?
66 to 68.
Let me see if I can.
Dang it. Typical post front. They're gonna short strike it.
Sorry for the camera jerk, guys.
He's ducking. He's getting out of the water. Can't blame him.
I promise it won't happen if it stays in the mouth.
He gets it. You ain't gotta worry about it.
So how you been liking this FXR?
Love it. It's by far the best fishing boat I've ever been in. I mean, I've fished in a lot of boats too. There's just the way it handles the waves, the new technology they did with the rough water deal, like 30-something% better ride than the FX, which the FX was already an incredible ride to begin with. The fact that they could improve that, pretty astonishing. And it's got I done captured one. Old rat. Fat though. See, y'all, I can catch a bass. I just got to talk about my boat, give my boat a little bit of love. He'll come up and eat it. He ain't real long, but he's fat. He like me, short and fat. Oh, me. Done captured me another.
Just
if they there and they ain't biting.
What was that?
I said, I don't know if they're there and they're not biting, or and I know they gotta be there.
Yeah. Michael, let's do another 20 minutes and then do a 10-minute little wrap-up debrief.
okay.
11:30 right now. So you got 20 minutes to make yourself a star.
20 minutes. 20 minutes to find them.
Could go try and catch some spots.
I'm just glad to see you.
Let's go try and catch a few spotted bass. Probably like I won't get a bite, but we might.
I'm just glad you didn't set the swim jig down immediately after catching two.
I pretty much did.
That ain't working.
No.
All right, guys. How's the audio, guys? I think that's the fastest we've ever gone on live here on Bucks Island.
Normally you and Justin sitting there.
Walking around a boat or something.
Talking about it.
All right, what are you throwing now?
I'm throwing the good old shaky head. Shaky head with a Zoom slinky on it. there's still some spawning. I don't know, it may be too late. They tend to spawn a little bit earlier than ours.
Why the bait caster for Shaky Head? There's the question.
There it is. I'm actually throwing this on 16-pound sunline. I mean, I'm, you know, up close on the bank, pinching and flipping and stuff. You're not really having to drag it. You're not having to use light line, which is the main reason I use a spinning rod. Is with the light line. But that's just, I throw bigger line on it while I'm fishing like this. With a Shaky Head, I got a 1/4 ounce Shaky Head, so it's not like I'm really lightweight finessing. It's just this style bait works good for me in this situation. If I were to be out dragging points or something or fishing docks, I would probably be using a spinning rod. Or I'd have to use 8-10-pound line, stuff like that. But you can get away with a bigger line up in the river and stuff with dirtier water.
What weight rod are you using for the Shaky Head?
It's a 7-1 heavy.
7-1 heavy.
It's a fast action though, so it's got some tip to it. Work your worm pretty good and not move it a whole lot. The heavier the rod, you know, it's going to be stiffer to where you can't really give the bait a lot of action. When you bump it, it's going to move the bait a lot further. The more tip you got, you can work your bait a little bit slower and softer.
Heath asks, creek mouths or points?
For this, I'm fishing, it's actually just riverbanks with some stumps on it and little cuts in the rock stuff. That's where them spots like to spawn. They just want to get behind something. The further you go down the lake, them spots will spawn on humps and stuff like that. But you get up in the river, they don't have nowhere to go. They got to go to the bank and get shallow. But it's like anything else. You'll find a stretch that really got some on it, or you can fish for 3 or 4 hours and not get a bite doing it.
All right, if you're just jumping in, guys, be sure to drop a comment, questions, where you're at, what you're doing today. Love to know. And we're going to pick a winner. We're going to go for about 15 more minutes. We'll do a little wrap up and pick a winner for a $25 gift card or gift certificate to the Loft, to our online tackle store. Correction, 13 minutes. Thanks for keeping me honest, Stano. Oh, he's doing it.
Bass fan. But they do bite sometimes.
Adam, Adam asked War Eagle or that other school.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. Always.
I'm gonna have to go with War Eagle.
Oh, God.
I spent 4 great years and met my wife at Auburn, so.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
We got a good mixed bag at Bucks, so
Yeah, it's pretty even.
we don't want to lose out business on either way.
No, bring them on. We might even take a Tennessee, man.
Ooh,
Maybe. We'd have to really like it, probably.
yeah. A couple of those Alabama comments I can't read out loud because I don't say those words in combination.
Yeah. That's the gospel, man.
Wes still has his teeth? Question mark.
Oh,
Except it's teeth with an F. So how long you been fishing on Neely Henry?
shoot, since I could walk, probably 4 or 5 fishing tournaments up here with my dad and my granddad, basically anybody else. Spent a lot of time on this lake. Some days I love it, some days I hate it. It's definitely not the best lake on the coast for catching numbers. I think Logan Martin could probably be that. But this lake has its moments where it can be unreal good.
All right, the water's not that cold and there's only 10 minutes left. Just saying.
No. Did you say that?
No, that's a comment. That's a comment. I don't want to put pressure on you. The longer we stay out here, this is good. This is good stuff. Oh, here's a great question. I need a boat. Who shall I buy one from?
I mean, me, huh? What kind of question is that? If you can't get mine, I know Bucks Island's got one for you. Any kind, any model. Fine folks down there taking care of it. 100%. Pontoon boat, aluminum boat, bass boat.
Well, they've been going. We ran 2 of them yesterday, a Skeeter and a Falcon, that are getting picked up in the next couple of days. So pretty much all the manufacturers have shut down. They can't get parts.
I might need to look for a new profession. Might come take your job. I might come take your job.
I have to deal with professional anglers for a living.
Oh, God, I can't even catch a spot.
Well, Rob, if you need somebody to say that to buy a boat from, I'm gonna have to refer you to Melissa. She's our resident Alabama fan in the sales side of things, so she'll be happy to take care of you. Do you prefer upriver, downriver during the spot spawn? And do they spawn down before they spawn on the upper end?
Yeah, they spawn on the lower end first, just like a largemouth, I think. I prefer to fish up here. Again, it goes back to the same thing with a largemouth. It's just a confidence thing. I feel comfortable up here. You can actually catch them all up and down the lake on these bluffier type slant rock banks when it gets right. But when it's not good, it's not good. I mean, it's like they're there one day and gone the next.
So we have 5 minutes now? 4 minutes.
Oh. I'll take a bet I don't get a bite in 4 minutes. Well, it'll be crappie fishing. Probably couldn't catch none of them either, but at least I'd be thinking I'm going to.
So Randall Carter asked, can Fish Life get that thing you Alabama fans say?
Oh, roll tide for Fish Life, for sure. And anybody
don't say, can I get a dentist?
I see the peanut gallery still open. Oh man! But no, on a serious note, the Fish Life Fish Care products, I just got with Mr. Randall and all them this year on the Elite Series, and that stuff, they've got live well cleaner, they've got fish care stuff, they've got the fin clips, which I really like. I use them not just on my deep fish, but you use them in shallow water situations too. If you get a fish that isn't acting right. But yeah, that's available on Tackle Warehouse, all their stuff. It's available on their website. But you really need to clean your live wells. I know a lot of guys that don't. I used to not to, but there's so much stuff that builds up in there, and they can stay closed up all week, and then you go fishing on the weekend or something, you just got like fungus growing in there. It's just not healthy for the fish. And with as many people fishing nowadays, and there's a lot more than there used to be, we need to try and take care of our resource, take care of the fish as much as we can. You know, that's just another way of doing it. So be sure to check those guys out for sure.
All right. Last question. I see Mark Davis, you asked that question about the ZXR versus the FXR hull. We've got some YouTube videos, actually, that we've done on the ZXR. We can go through some of that stuff. So I'm going to say the last question is, are you using braid or mono?
Right now?
Or what line? Yeah.
I'm actually using fluorocarbon. I'm throwing 16-pound sniper fluorocarbon. And I'm using 16 instead of like a 14 or a 12 because the size of Sniper's 16. That's all I had to buy. Sniper's 16-pound line is the diameter of other brands like a Seagull. I mean, any other brand. Like if you have a 16-pound, Sunline's diameter is a 14 of somebody else's. So you can have a stronger line but have a smaller diameter. Basically, what I'm getting at.
How much do you like Ronnie Moore?
I love Ronnie Moore.
Ronnie Moore's a good dude.
Best friend. It's amazing.
He's the best.
All right, you want to do a wrap up?
Yeah, let's do that. Well, I gotta say, you've busted your own chops here for a while, but you know how many people in an hour and 45 minutes would still be looking for their first bite? And you've landed 2 and you've rolled several.
Oh, that first bite I had was expecting.
Was it?
He just come up behind me.
Now I know we kind of hamstrung you to start with we're gonna do a swim jig lesson, but what would you have done? What would you have done differently to start the day out today? If you were going to be looking and starting your whole process?
I probably would have started with a swim jig, but I mean, within 3 or 4 of those stretches with not getting a bite, I'm probably going to switch to, like probably fishing stick style bait. I mean, I know they're there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I know they are. I ought to change up techniques. I don't think the fish have gone anywhere. I don't know where they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to be set up. But I would still keep, I might fish 20 minutes doing something, but I'm still going to pick that swim jig back up because I know when one bites it, it might be a big one.
Okay, so going through your thought process last night, knowing that you're doing this today, and we're getting that weather front came in and all of that stuff, what was going through your mind?
I was praying to God the weathermen were wrong. No, I woke up this morning at like 4 and the wind was just howling. I knew it was going to be tough. But I've seen situations where it's real tough and the weather's terrible, but there's some situations where the fish are already there. You know what I mean? It's not like they're knocking them off. Like they're there, they've already spawned, they're on the bed, so they're not just going to swim off and leave. And you can get some certain situations where if you can get the right fish in the right mood, you can still get him to react to something just to know he's there. And then, like that fish I missed earlier, in a tournament situation, I'd go back to that fish 3 or 4 times, just thinking it might have been on the bed or something. But most of the time, this late into the spring, yeah, it's cold. They're probably not biting, but they're not going anywhere. They're still there.
So, strategically, what was your thought last night before that front started rolling through? Did you just think you were going to be able to cover a bunch of water, throw the swim jig, just do what you got to do?
I really think, just looking at the weather patterns we've had the past, probably 3 weeks, it should have been able to just run down the bank and catch as many buck bass as wanted to bite. You're 10 to 14 inch, just guard and everything and stuff like that, but you know what Post-frontal do to them. It's not supposed to, but sometimes it does. But that's what I was looking forward to, was taking that trick worm and swim jig and just burning down the bank. And when one comes up onto the either gets it or he don't, if not, just go to the next one.
So is that what you'd recommend for people in this kind of situation? Is you'd say start with what you had planned and then maybe have some adjustment pieces where you go to a stick bait like a Senko or one of those kinds of deals, or how would you recommend people take a look at this process?
I got you. Go with what you have confidence in. Obviously, mine is power fishing and stuff like that. That's what I would start out with, whatever you're confident with. But if it's not working, just keep changing stuff up, change colors. It might just be a simple color change. It may not have nothing to do with the action or anything like that. You might be swimming a white one, you pick up a black one, and it just turns on like a light switch, and you'll think you're the smartest person in the world, and it just happens like that. And then there's other times where, just keep fishing, just keep covering water, and you may even fish down a stretch that looks good, and you didn't get a bite, and then in 2 hours you start crushing them on a swim jig on a stretch of grass. You're like, I could go back there. They might just start biting, like a bite window. They do that sometimes, but that's another thing I would say is don't overlook something. If you think something looked right, it probably looked right for a reason, so don't just count it out.
Okay, so you had those fish coming up and they were swirling. They're nipping your tails, they're doing all those things. Is that an action deal or is that a color deal that makes them swing behind? Or was it just the conditions?
It's more than likely a conditions deal. I think, because the 2 I did catch, they ate it. So the fish just might not have been in the right mood. Might have just got there, might have been there for a while and might have been caught 3 or 4 times. You never know. She may have been on a bed and you've had somebody come through in the past day or 2 and caught her, and she's still there and she still wants to protect her bed, but she's not eating it like she did when she got caught. And there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it this time of year just because there's so many fish up shallow and they don't bleed and there's that many people fishing.
Okay, so you caught them on a swim jig. And I think you got one roll on the trick worm, didn't you?
No.
No roll. Okay, I thought you had switched when you got one of those. So tell everybody real quick your breakdown of your product, the jig, the hook that's in it, the trailer, rod, reel, line, everything.
All right. We'll start with the reel. We got the Lew's Pro TI. It's a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. It's got, what's neat about this reel that Lew's has come out with, you can mess with and adjust your internal brakes without taking the cover off. So you don't have to really worry about that. Just your little dial right here adjusts your internal braking system. And it's a lot easier. Like you can change it. Like we've got the wind blowing here. If I wanted to adjust it to throw into the wind, you go back into a calm place, you can open it back up. It'll free it up. Got that going there. The rod, like I said earlier, I like a 7.6 when I'm swimming it like I am today, keeping it up in the water column. It's a 7.6 medium heavy, fast action arc reinforcer. They've got plenty of them, so go check them out on arcfishing.com. They're on Tackle Warehouse also. My line, I swim with Sunline 50-pound FX2 braid. It's just a dark green color. I mean, that's all you really need. I don't like to swim anything over 50. I feel like it's harder to cast. It catches on itself pretty bad. Moving on to the swim jig, it's a dirty jigs, no jack. I'm 90% of the time swim with no jack just because I jerk so hard a lot of the time.
What's the difference between the no jack jig and the regular?
I was about to say, when I'm using a fluorocarbon, like in a clear lake, like a Smith Lake type deal, or like when you're just on a constant line where you're not, the fish isn't 12 inches under the water, and when you set the hook, he's gonna fly out and stuff like that. I use a regular hook. Just the difference in the hooks is this no jack is so beefy. I mean, you can hook it to a truck. We've done it before, and just pull and pull. You'll break your rod before you even bend the hook. I mean, it's just basically a meat gap. But then our other just regular swim jig is just a 5/0 Gamakatsu normal swim jig hook. But you're still, it could have a little flex in it, but you're not gonna like just barely hook one and it flex. I mean, you're gonna have to really put some torque on it. But I like the whites. Dirty Jigs has a crappie color that's really good this time of year. The hematoma is the one I use a lot, and then just the I think it's a warmouth, and then Alabama brim. That's Canterbury turned me on to that one. That's his favorite color. But that's basically the 3 or 4 colors you need.
And you got a super speed crawl back there?
Yeah, you don't want to get confused with the super speed crawl and the ultra vibe, because the ultra vibe's got the little bitty pinchers. I use it, the ultra vibe, like skipping docks or stuff like that, or when you've got some fish bad nipping on it. But like today, it's just, that doesn't really make a big difference, honestly, to me. The super speed crawl, and then you've got the Zoom swimmer, the swim bait paddle tail that you can put on there in certain situations. Like, that's a big deal down in Florida or on grass lakes like Gunnersville and stuff like that when you're around submerged vegetation, just throwing it out there and reeling it in. But 90% of the time, that's the go-to for me, if I'm swimming.
Well, guys, that'll wrap it up here from Neely Henry Lake here in Gadsden, Alabama.
Sorry we didn't catch more.
This was fun. Most of the stuff that we've got that Wes has mentioned, we've got at Bucks Island. Social distancing right now. Be safe out there. Call us. We can get it off the shelf and bring it to you at the gate, or we can ship it to your house. And we'll work out something for you on shipping. I believe we're doing, if you spend $25, we'll ship it to you for free. But really, thanks for spending some time with us. We just wanted to entertain a little bit, keep our distance from each other. We're trying to be outside, being safe. Wes, man, thanks a bunch of time, man. We appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all letting me be on here and bore some people for a few hours. You're something to watch and laugh about.
One of these days, we're going to have to teach that boy to be a little bit more confident.
We did get a few bites, though, so that's good.
We're gonna head back to the shop and pick a winner from all the comments, and we will be in touch. Thanks, guys.
Marquee.
Thanks,
Pick a
guys.
winner.